Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm drawing Tsunami, requested by Moonlight Evie. Yeah, I'm just doing like a headshot basically. Yeah, because I didn't have a lot of time this week to actually get the drawing done. So, bear with me for this week. I will try to make better or like full shot characters next time, but I just ran out of time this week. Anyway, let's get into it. I was really struggling with the head for some reason. I don't remember why. I couldn't do it. Like, something about it was just eh. And I kept changing it and changing it, like, over and over, which you don't see in this video because I had done a bit of sketching on paper before this to get an idea of what I wanted to do. But oh my gosh, it took me like an hour to figure out what I was doing. Yeah. But since there's not a lot talking about how I came up with the character, because not my character, obviously, I thought maybe I could talk about some moments in the books that I found interesting, enjoyed, criticized, basically anything that came to mind involving Tsunami. One of which would be Tsunami's family, which I actually really enjoyed reading about, Turtle being one of my favorite characters, just because of the dynamic. All of her siblings are very different from each other, from Orca being very power hungry to Tsunami being fierce, and Turtle being like pulled back from everything, and Anemone being very arrogant and bratty, yeah, at some points, and at other points feeling more childish, mainly in the first book we meet her, which I find was very good development. I really did like her personality. I liked the contrast that it had with the others. I liked how she really stood out, because she wasn't as naive as Peril was when it came to fighting. Yeah, she wasn't as cold as Burn or Blister. She was kind, and she understood the consequences of, her actions. But she was still fierce, kind of like an older sister. Like, she was fierce, she wanted to protect her friends and her students in the later books. And I felt like she really stood out in those situations. And I find Sea Wings are quite interesting overall, with a lot of I like a lot of their traits. I like how they've got the back fins, and I like their bioluminescent scales, and their color palette is fun to work with, because I don't usually work with blues and greens. So it's a lot of fun to see how creative I can get. Another thing is, spoil alert for, I think it's book 15. So if you don't want to hear it, you can just skip ahead. Nothing major, nothing crazy. But when Tsunami is fighting the Hive Wings on the little island, and it says that they drew blood and the blood was blue, I thought that was very funny of a either retcon or mistake, whichever one it was. It was very funny, because previously it had been described and even shown as being red. So, yeah. I thought that was rather funny. Anyway, moving on. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see as much of her in the second arc of the story. with her being, the principal and everything, which I personally didn't see coming, but I thought was a very good choice because, like, at first I was like, this makes no sense, but, like, the more you think about it, the more it makes absolute sense. She's very protective and, good at being protective. So, of course, you'd want somebody like that in charge of in charge of kids and dragonettes. And it made a lot of sense. Oh, something I'm just now thinking of that could have been fun to see is her interact with scavengers. She might have, but I don't remember if she did. And if she did, she clearly didn't do enough of it. Yeah. So, those are some things that I found interesting about her and all. Yeah. Tsunami also has a very fun color palette because I feel like she was a very good design to introduce Sea Wings. She's very blue. And I think it's fun to start characters that are main characters with basic designs sometimes because a lot of designs are always like standing out. But I like that Tsunami is just really blue. I think it was a good like first look into Sea Wings because the more complicated you get, like at the start, like for example, Anemone with the pink, I think it would be really confusing to somebody to be like, oh, so they can have pink, and then nobody else showing up with pink. So I think it's a good idea that they started with something a little more tame. I also pulled up a reference photo for the colors, even though they aren't exact anyway. I wanted to get a general idea of how much darker and how much lighter some parts should be. And instead of making the same color clearer for the fins, I just kind of decided I'll make a lighter color because it would look like that anyway. So we'll be right back when there's something else to talk about. Okay, I only just noticed this while recording. I forgot to give Tsunami gills. I am so dumb. uh, I'll have to remember that for next time. Which, funny thing, I don't usually forget the gills, it's usually the ears I forget. Because for some reason, I just always forget that dragons have ears. Always. Which, speaking of, which is kind of strange, because if dragons are technically reptiles, then shouldn't they not have ears shown here? Shouldn't they have, like, ear holes? Like most reptiles do? And a lot of amphibians and stuff like that. And also, dragons have warm blood, it appears. It's not because they don't seem to need to regulate their body temperature. So that's also another peculiar thing. They seem to be kind of a mix between mammals and reptiles, which is really strange. I'm getting off track. That was completely off track of where I was. Yeah. I didn't really do anything complicated for her bioluminescent scales because I was just kind of drawing her how I saw her, and when I was reading the book, I always saw her with just circles for the bioluminescent scales. I might change that in later designs because this is the first time I'm really drawing Tsunami. But yeah, those are simple. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you want to see next, whether that's a redraw of one of your characters, an original character of mine, a concept of a dragon, a fan art of an existing character, a concept, a hybrid, or just a dragon tribe as it is. I love to hear what you guys have to say, and it's a lot of fun drawing your guys' comments. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!